Astrology for the week of June 24th. What is going on in all of this deep, emotional, sensitive, intuitive Cancer energy? So first off, this whole week we have Sun, Mercury, Venus, all very personal planets in the sign of Cancer. Sign of Cancer is a mother energy. It's an emotional energy. It's an intuitive energy. It's an instinctual energy. It's a soft, sensitive energy with a crab shell on the outside. So just know that that flavors everything that's going on. Will very deeply be feeling. It's like feeling. There's some really good possibilities and potentials this week around uncovering our North Node potentials. So North Node is nodes of fate. There's the North and the South Node. Mars is in an aspect to the South Node around the beginning of the week. Middle of the week, Venus comes into a square with the nodes of fate. Earlier, Mercury, just over the weekend, very recently, Mercury was in that square to the nodes of fate. So it's a time where we can be getting feels, right? This Cancer season, we can be getting feels or intuitive hits about our path forward, especially just post this solstice and full moon that happened last week, Thursday, Friday. Right, 20th, 21st, it was all that Neptune energy. So it was the dissolve into the nothingness, dissolve the old. And now this is like a building week. It's a get the insights, get the intuitive hits, get the feels for highest path forward. Then we have Saturn on Saturday going retrograde. Before that happens, so Saturn energy is manifesting energy. And this is good. Saturn energy is build the foundations to support those intuitive feels, those intuitions, those North Node future visions that are starting to dribble in this week. So here's a suggestion you feel in for you. Maybe journaling, maybe dream journaling, like set the intention before you go to sleep at night. Like, let me have a dream for my highest path forward based on who I am today. Based on right now, based on after all this Neptune dissolving, after the solstice, after that full moon, like who I am today, what is my highest path forward? What is my next breadcrumb on my soul's path breadcrumb trail, right? We don't need, here's a little insider tip, we don't need 10 steps forward. Sometimes we miss the first step because we want the guarantee of the 10 steps. I'm kind of having a lot of conversations with a lot of people, and I'd love to know in the comments if you can relate to this, is that the greatest creations that we've been able to create lately come from trusting the first step. It might not be lately, right? This is probably, I can say that this is like my whole life has been like this. But like, I get the hit and I take the step. I get the hit, I take the step. I don't go, that old meme of like, I need a signier sign, right? Or I'm not going to take that step until you give me the next 5 steps. I'm not going to take that first step of like right now, my first step is sell my house. I would really like to know where to move next. I would really like to know what that looks like. I would really like to know step 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're just not there. They're just not there. So, but to not deny this deep intuitive knowing, that's what this week is about, deep intuitive knowings, to not deny it and to put the foundations in place to support that first step. So that's what this week is about. Saturn helps us put foundation in place. Wednesday, we've got a really cool lineup between Mercury and Saturn, a really supportive lineup. Mercury, the mind. Saturn is reality, manifester, foundations. It's a good, positive, supportive lineup. So it's like Wednesday could be a great day to do a practice around what are the structures I need to put in place? What are the steps I need to take so that I can follow this intuitive hit? So that I can follow this path that I'm getting maybe just feels around, maybe just like one little intuitive insight around. There's also some really good Mars-Venus aspects coming up where they're in a really good dance. So our masculine and feminine will be dancing really well together this week. So our action-oriented Mars and our intuitive, heart-based Venus are able to dance together really, really well, right? And so you can think of like the divine union, these two powerful different sort of wielding of different sort of energies, aspects of self. They wield different energies, but when they combine together, we combine the sacred masculine with the sacred feminine and we get union, right? And that's a creative force right there. And so creating, manifesting, you really want to focus and feel into what feels right for you or true for you around creating and manifesting and next steps forward and the foundations to be able to do that. So Saturn's going to go retrograde on Saturday. This is big, especially coming out of all this Neptune energy. There is actually more Neptune energy going on this weekend, so it's going to be interesting, like a push-pull dynamic. Like, we're going to want to get grounded. We're going to want to get into reality. Reality checks, that's kind of Saturn, is like reality checks. Like, but the reality checks help us to manifest in the real world. It's beautiful. It's really, really stunning. It's really powerful. As well as, like, still a little bit of the Neptune, like dreamy. So pay attention to that and see where you're at on that like axis. Dreams versus reality. How can I bring my dreams into reality? How can I bring the formless, like thought, into form? The actual creation of that inspiration or of that thought. Powerful, powerful week. I talked about manifesting in a video previous to this. If you scroll back through, I'm sure you'll be able to see it. There's also 241. That's the solstice full moon energy. That's the latest podcast that came out. That could be supportive if you haven't seen that one yet. Otherwise, we'll have a bunch of stuff going on this week. I'm always here popping in with stuff. Would love to see you guys in the comments below. It's pretty amazing what you all weave into the conversations lately. But if there's something else that I can share with you, actively work with creation energy. Whatever that means for you, like to this week, to actively work with creation energy, right? Like you are a creator, like the master of your destiny versus victim of fate. Maybe just feel into that and see what arises for you with that. Like if I'm the master of my destiny versus the victim of my fate, I'm the master of my destiny. Like I am much more active. I'm taking a more active role in creating my life, in creating my reality. I'm giving away less power. I'm not giving away my power, right? I'm taking, this is going to kind of suck maybe, I'm taking responsibility. I'm taking more responsibility for what I'm creating. What I'm creating, what my thought patterns are creating, what my belief systems are creating, what I'm creating. I'm gonna see it more. I'm gonna love it more. I'm gonna honor it more. I'm gonna respect it more. I'm gonna take a more active role. I'm gonna have more choice, like more conscious creation versus unconscious creation, right? More master of destiny versus victim of fate. That's a really big one for this week. All right. I love you all. For those of you who are in membership, we'll be working with this on July 1st in membership. If you're not part of membership, come join us. Living Close to the Bone. If you just type bones below, we'll shoot you information on that. But otherwise, I will see you where I see you, when I see you, and how I see you. Huge love to you all.